Yo, good morning. What's going on, everyone? Happy Wednesday. It's 11 o'clock Eastern, which means I had to go live for you. No, from Adorama, 42 West 18th Street. This is the actual store. This is not a green screen. This is Adorama. This is Michelle Harris. We're going to get into Michelle in a second. She was about to say what's up.
No.
Okay. All right. You know how we do this. I got to say thank you to our, first of all, the sponsor, Sigma. You guys know Sigma. We're talking about a half-century old, if not older, brand that is family-owned. We're on the second generation of that family, and I was at that factory this year, and it's amazing. The attention to what they do, the way they build, the way they go about what they want to put out in our industry as far as the tools we get, incredible. You know Sigma. If you've been looking at lenses ever, or you've ever shot, you know the name. Check out the link down below for the entire lineup. The art series is a favorite of mine, and don't forget that Sigma BF. We talked about it on this channel. Me and Daniel sat right here and we talked about it. So check out all that stuff. And I wanted to say a quick thanks to, I haven't done this in a minute, guys. Sorry. Gotham Roasters. Thanks for the coffee. Cheers, girl.
Yes. Cheers.
Boom. What'd you get?
A hot mocha.
A hot mocha. I'm on like iced cold brew. She's on hot mocha over here. And if you,
rainy and disgusting out.
It is rainy. I wouldn't say disgusting. You're so negative. You're so negative. All right. I want to say thanks to Gotham for this. It's owned by a photographer and a filmmaker. So if you're going to come to a 5 o'clock event like Michelle has tonight, go to 19th Street, go grab some coffee, tell them Adorama sent you, say what's up, then go hang out here, get full of caffeine, and then speak really loud and fast at Michelle at 5 o'clock. You guys can keep her on her toes with the questions. And one last one, which is a new one. I want to thank Tenba because now our guests will be getting a Tenba bag as a thank you for being here. And Tenba is a New York company, believe it or not. Yeah, since 1977. And they've been a legacy company in bags forever since 1977. And you can check out the entire lineup at the links that we'll be putting in the description from now on. But just know they're supporting our guests, so we want to support them. Thank you, Tenba. Whew. All right, there's all the spiely stuff. And there is Michelle Harris. Who is Michelle Harris? Well, she was like, I don't like introducing myself. Can you introduce me? Can you make me feel special? Because I don't want to feel special about myself. I want you to make me feel special.
Did not say that.
Verbatim. I wrote it all down.
Lies.
No, it's lies. So she's building an empire here. She's got photographers working underneath her. We're talking about a wedding photographer, destination weddings, which is definitely takes a lot more orchestration than just getting in your car and throwing some stands around at wherever you're going to go shoot. We're talking about traveling around the world to shoot. And not to mention, like, you have a whole, I mean, there's so much to you as far as business goes and building, brand building. Was it Hustle and Heels, I think was the name of it, right?
That was it once upon a time.
Once upon a time. Okay, we're going to talk about all this stuff, but just know it's beyond just taking some shots here when it comes to Michelle Harris. I'm going to throw up some of her work while we get going here, and you guys can take a look at the vibe that Michelle gives you. I said in the promo, I was like, she's got a great smile. I was like, I keep on throwing it in there because I don't smile at any of my promo stuff. I have jacked up teeth, you know?
Oh, really?
Well, I've had some head injuries and stuff, you know?
Oh.
But this is the vibe you're getting. And you definitely have like your style down, your look down. And I've seen you at trade shows that we both teach at, and you were giving a lot of energy, especially when you don't have a microphone, by the way.
I was yelling as loud as I could.
Yo, forget about it. And I'm just like, this poor woman. But nobody left. So when you were looking at a demo and there's technical issues and there's things they can't hear you, but people don't leave, that means that whatever they're saying is that good. So I got to give you credit on that. I was like, all right, don't open Photoshop. Ah, damn it. Okay. It's been a minute. See, I told you something was going to go wrong. Yo, what's going on, Steve? How are you? Hope you're well, buddy. Don't open Photoshop.
There's worse things than opening.
I don't even open Photoshop ever. And now that's why it's trying to update 16 times. Oh, you guys have all done this. Don't even start with me. All right. I don't need like an invoice to come up or something weird. Okay, cool. Anyway, welcome to New York. You just came in from DC.
I did. Yeah.
So first of all, was weddings always your goal? And why destination weddings? Is it like a higher price point? Does you just want to travel? Like, what is it?
Great question. So when I first got my camera, my first thought was that I was going to be a newborn photographer. And I bought all the things. I bought like all the little trinkets, the things you put on their heads, and the bean bag, and all the things. And I hated every second of it. I really did.
Bought all the things.
I did. I bought everything. And then I sold them all. And my brother was like, hey, I'm getting married in my backyard. Do you want to shoot it? And I was like, sure. And I had this little Canon. It was white. It was like a SL1.
SL2, SL1.
SL1.
Yeah.
Yep. And I went and I rented a 70 to 200 for a backyard wedding. That's how much I knew.
Because that's what they told you to get, right?
Yeah. I was like, this is it. I'm ready for this wedding. And the backyard was like 10 feet by 10 feet. It was ridiculous. I still used it outside of the yard, but like that's how much I didn't know what I was doing when I found weddings. And I was like, this is awesome anyway.
Really?
And then I just didn't stop.
I gotta tell you, I've shot 2 weddings in my life. Never again. It's not gonna happen. I traded my chess piece for a wedding, and I'm never doing it again. Like it is so, I don't know, maybe you got to be into what a wedding is, first of all. And I think you have to be someone that understands the vibe that people that are getting married are into. Not this. This is not happening here, okay?
Yeah.
So you went from a backyard to traveling the world. That's insane, first of all. It's like, if you think about, you can literally see your progression in what you've shot, how you shot, and where you've been. You have a metric.
Yeah, that's true. I never even thought of it like that before.
You heard it here first, lady. If you guys have any questions, this is why we're live. Don't forget, this is the whole point of it, right? So if you have any questions for Michelle, me, anything you want to get into, hit me up in this chat room. We'll pull it up. So what was the first destination? And did you freak out? Were you like, all right, it was one thing going to a 10 by 10 backyard, but when you had to go actually fly, bring gear, orchestrate, put together a team?
I didn't freak out. My first one was the Dominican Republic, and I actually have not been back since that first one. To that particular.
When was this?
2017.
Okay. Well, that's, yeah.
And I started in 2015. So.
Oh, so you really kind of just went all in.
Yeah, I didn't stop. So like, I mean, my first year I was using Thumbtack because 10 years ago, it was like $9 to send people quotes and stuff. So it was like nothing. And I was booking them. It was like $1,200 weddings every other weekend. But I was an insurance agent. So this $1,200 on top of my salary, I was in heaven. And so I was doing that, but I quit 1 year in.
You were an insurance agent. Did you ever go to like a wedding and be like, that's a liability. That's a liability. Why are you wearing open-toed shoes? That's a liability. Like,
I didn't, because I was in the car service department. So nope. And for most of it, I was in like the reissue department. So like if your policy canceled, then you'd get me to tell you how you can get it back. Yeah, I dealt with a lot.
Whoa. So, well, first of all, that develops and sharpens people's skills.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's a huge, I don't think people realize how much of that exists in what we do,
a lot.
Especially weddings, right? You're dealing with some people that are buying a service from you, right? So you're selling yourself, you're selling the work, but you're also selling product like albums, the idea of the entire thing.
Everything.
And you've definitely dealt with some difficult. Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
definitely. That was difficult. People like just swear, oh, I paid it, but you didn't. It's right here. We give you a lot of ways, but you didn't pay. It didn't get here in time. It was a mess. But then right before I left, I was in the internet department, and so people would go online and they'd be like, oh, I want to add this car, do this or whatever, and then I would like process it and send them an email, and I felt like that also helped my career because I really got proper grammar when it comes to filling out all the email things.
Proper grammar.
Because then, listen, you can think you know, and it's like, where do you put this comma? And okay, where do you put this and that? And
I guess it's the same thing as like you're showing up to some sort of audition proper, right? If you're sending janky emails that sound like trash, they're going to treat you just like you've been presenting yourself, right?
Absolutely.
That explains my whole career. There we go, guys. There it is, all in one. There it is. I figured it out. Finally. I mean, I just, weddings is this thing that it's an event that you have to cover photojournalistically, but also with like a feel to it human wise. Then you got to do product photography for the rings and all the other stuff. You've got to build a team, orchestrate the team, because you don't just shoot yourself. You have
no.
Yeah. How many shooters do you typically have?
So it's typically a team of 4. So me and 3 people for my company, and then my associate team is just 2 for the
associate team. Do you hear this? Yeah. She's just saying words that make her sound important now.
That's it.
It's half the game. But did you, when you started shooting, right, and you just shot that first 10 by 10 wedding, did you think this was the path before you shot it? Were you going like, no, I want to shoot babies and I want to shoot portraits. I don't want to shoot. You were just like, I'll do this because they're asking me to.
That was my first thought. Yeah. Because at first I was like, oh, I'm not going to have any more kids. So I'm just going to be able to love on people's babies and then give them back. And
that's wild.
Yeah.
I get it. I love on zombies and I give them back. I take these creatures and like, oh, you're so disgusting. Go back to your mom. There you go.
I would have nothing to do with any
what?
of that.
Why not?
No, thank you.
I mean, but you have to allow yourself for some sort of creativity. You can't just keep shooting the same shots. And I'm sure your clients don't want the same shots that all their friends got. Sometimes they do. They're like, I wanted that. Exactly.
So actually, that's not even true. A lot of people want the shots that I put out. And so that's why they'll book me. So like I love veil shots and I'm really big on them. And people like I've heard my brides get excited when it's time, like during the portrait session. I'll pull out my veil because I actually bring a veil to every wedding, whether they want to wear one or plan on it or whatever. I always have one. Yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm about to get this shot. I'm gonna get this shot. They don't care like that I've done it a million times. Yes. So I definitely
this amazing internet I have. There we go.
So that is what I'm going to be teaching later today.
All right.
But the veil shots is within that process.
Over here. Cool.
I feel like right there is like my little swoop veil shot right there.
Where am I going?
Oh, go up. Right there.
This?
Yeah. See?
Oh, the veil in the front, in the foreground?
Yeah. But this new framing thing cuts off a lot. There's more.
So what I do is everyone has their own thing about Instagram, but I like to just take the entire frame I shot because I rarely crop. I shoot how I want, and then I put it in there, and whatever black bars are there, that's how I put it up.
That's just what it is.
Yeah, and I that comes from my days of printing in a darkroom because you never use the whole paper anyway.
That makes sense.
But I feel like with what you guys do, the whole presentation is so key. Like I can throw together some pirate ship junk, and people are like, it's that's the way it is. It's grimy. But like you're going to people that aren't us, and you're trying to explain to them what we are, what you do, what you provide, what to expect. But I think that, like we've always said on the show, right, guys? I said, like, if you want to get booked for something, that's the work you have to put out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm putting out zombies and stuff. I'm not going out there looking for brides, like try to do a zombie bride. We're going to, anyway, but that's the whole thing, right? So I think that you have to build the body of work that they can expect and then execute on it. And then it's just kind of like going forward and forward. So what do you do when you have something you want to try that they've never even seen you do? Are you building your portfolio on the side with people or are you trying them at a wedding?
So I normally don't try things at weddings, but I also do destination workshops. And I feel like that's my time to be creative and do whatever I want because I have that time with just a couple, and like 8 other photographers with me, but like that's it.
Just 8 other photographers. That's it. That's it, guys. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Somewhere between 8 and 12. We're like,
So what's the process like to be on your team, right? So are you looking at portfolios constantly? You only go to people you know personally? Are you hiring people at the location because you're going there anyway?
Oh, no.
No?
So, I typically have my second shooters and my videographers all the time, just that for Hair Studios for me.
Yeah.
And then my associate team is all women. And originally I started it in 2017, which is also crazy because I had only been doing it for like 2 years. So people were like, what?
It doesn't matter how long. I think people get caught up in that, right? Like I've seen people I've been shooting for 40 years and I'm like, you're still garbage. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
absolutely. However, people judge you off of that though. They'll be like, you've only been doing it this long. Like, are you sure you're going to do that? I'm like, yeah, but I'm booked and I don't want to keep telling people to go to other people. I want to create this team. And like up until like COVID, I was always doing like multiple, my company's called Laila Chanel, is named after my oldest daughter.
Oh, wow.
And so I was doing Laila Chanel workshops like twice a year up until COVID. And then I haven't done so many since then because it's just been a mess. But I've had my core team that just go out and shoot weddings. I don't have to worry.
This chat's dead, so I'm just checking in. You guys okay?
Okay.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know. Sometimes you're just like, we're just listening. I just want to make sure I'm still alive. All right, guys?
Okay.
I think like people get caught up in the time because they think like the only way you can get a sense or a sharp idea of when to shoot and what to shoot is you have to do it for so many years. And it's like some people just have an eye and a feel, and that's what you can't teach or develop if it's not there usually, right?
Absolutely.
And I also think that we're in an era where you're be able to shoot in real time what you're doing.
Right.
When I was coming up, I had to shoot slides, wait 3 days, check my notes on what I did, then go, don't do that, and then go back. It took like a month to do what we do in 3 seconds.
Yeah. It's
so I
crazy.
think the time, there we go. Look, everybody's still alive.
Okay.
Devin, what's up, man? Just enjoying coffee. Devin, what's going on, man? You should come by 5 o'clock. My girl's going live. She's going to be doing 8 zillion 47 poses in 0.67 seconds. I just thought I saw that title name and I was like, that's pretty good. It's like an actual number. It sounds like a lot in a little. I'm like, this is brilliant. I was like, all right. I was like, well, we'll see. And then everyone's like, I guess that'll be a short demo. I'm like, no, she's going to talk a lot.
No. Yeah. I'm going to talk a lot.
So Lauren is actually asking, what has been your greatest difficulty working with clients?
Working with them in general? People wanting more when you're cheaper. That's what I've dealt with. People wanting every single thing when you're not charging that much, and as soon as you start charging more, they barely ask you for anything.
It's interesting, right? It's all perception.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people are always wondering what they should charge for shooting, and they're like, "But I just want the job." And then, when you talk to any pro, they'll be like, "Do not do it," because they're going to treat you like that.
Absolutely.
Or if you're what I think a lot of people get into is like they're the free person forever. They can never ask for money after they've been free for so long.
Right.
You know.
Or cheap. If you've been cheap for a long time, it's hard to just like double your prices out of nowhere.
Yeah, but then you get that pressure of like, well, they're going to expect $5,000 shots. You know, like it's one of those things. But you have to realize, like, you told them what it is. They know what they're in for. If you've shown them work and they're expecting that, and you can hit that, where's the problem?
Right.
You know, have you found a way to like make a formula to scale? Like, have you found like, or you just kind of like raise your prices when you feel like it's time, or do you have like an actual thing you stick by?
So like over the years, I was going up. Like once I felt like I was halfway booked, I would go up another $500. That's what I just kept doing. And
based on your volume.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. What was going on. And that was almost the same for my associate team. But now I've kept it right where it's at. I feel like I've hit like the sweet spot because they started at 3,000. I started at 7. And I'm like, I'm really good here. So I've been here for like 2 years and I'm fine with it.
Yeah. And then it's the best spot you can be in is when you are in a place where you're okay to walk away.
Right. Absolutely.
You're not going like, listen, if you don't want to do it, I don't got to do it.
It's fine.
It's cool.
It's absolutely fine. Because I mean, and if you can't afford me, it's fine. I have all of this, all of these options.
Well, I think we just answered that. How'd you know?
Yeah.
You know, but I think a lot of wedding photographers tell us that is that when their year is booked up and you want to add more dates to that year, that's when you're going to pay more because the bandwidth gets thinner. Yeah. And then it's like, if I don't need to do it, but you want me to do it, well, now it's on you.
Right.
You know, so that's kind of, and that makes total sense. And this is a business like anything else. Are you a member of any organizations like APA, SMP, PPA, LMNOP, QRS? No?
No. I think I keep going back and forth about joining PPA, especially after being at Imaging in January. I'm like, oh,
Imaging's dope, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Imaging a lot. And I also like that PPA will give you like 30 grand in gear insurance.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I'm like, I know, like I have like, I think it's Hiscox for insurance, but I'm just like, I think I need more than that just in case, because I feel like there's a lot of loopholes and foolery that can happen.
I mean, I think you know what's going on with insurance.
Yeah.
But I think the price I pay for PPA for what I get, I'm okay with it. Especially as a guy that, listen, I don't know what to do with legal documents, but I can go to them and they have like copyright documents and things I can use and like model releases or whatever. Like they'll have that kind of stuff for me if I need it.
Well,
so it's a good resource, you know?
You sold me.
No, there you go.
Yeah, that's the last bit I
I'll take commission right there. You hear that, Angela? See? Did you speak at Imaging? Were you?
So I didn't actually. No? I had like last year I moved from the like DMV area to Atlanta out of nowhere. I didn't warn anybody. I just
they're right next door to you then.
Yeah. What's my
Imaging? PPA is in Atlanta.
Oh yes, now yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I got there, I just kind of sat around and didn't do much, and I realized I got like really complacent. And so in December, I was like, you know what? I didn't apply to Imaging, and I didn't plan on going, but I'm just gonna buy a flight. And I just emailed all of my companies that I work with. I was like, I'll be there.
Yeah.
And then Sigma was like, well, can you be at the booth this time? Well, and Imagine I was like, hey, can you be over here? I'm like, yep, I'll be at all the booths, whatever you need.
That's how you do it. And I did it for years like that. Like I pieced together. I'm like, it's going to cost me this much. I need these many booths to make me do a few demos. Of course, I like in traditional Seth form, I blow out my vocal cords. But you go from booth to booth like a flea market, just piecing together your money from the trip, you know?
That's exactly what I did.
And you build ties, you meet other brands. There's a big difference between emailing a brand and physically being there and being like, hi, I'm this human.
Absolutely.
Here's my demeanor. You know, you're there with me or not.
Yeah.
Something like that. What is this? How do you set your prices after years of being in the industry? Asking Taylor.
So that's actually a good question because it took a long time for me to feel like there was somebody that could look at my prices and that I would respect what they had to say on them. And I have a meeting tomorrow with Ben Lau. I don't know if anybody knows him, but he's amazing.
Yeah.
And he's going to look over on myself because he has a long time associate team. He's had one for like 15 plus years. And he does it a little bit different than I do, but I still think like pricing, he's going to look over at.
So it's like a portfolio review, but for business.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yep.
I am not a business guy.
No.
My entire career, you know how I've done around my business. What do you want me to shoot? How much? Cool. Let's
Oh,
go.
no.
I want to do that. Let's go do that.
Oh, no.
I'm up for a corporate job right now. That's like a big company. And I'm like, and everyone's like, do not do what you always do. Like charge them high so they feel like, I'm like, I just want to do it. I just want to do it, man.
Oh my goodness.
It's, I don't know. The way I look at it, like, wow, I'm getting paid to go shoot something cool. Like if I'm in the green, I'm in the green. Like, or black, what do you call it? I don't even know anymore. Green, black, in the black.
In the black. But, oh God. No, that gives me anxiety.
I know. All you wedding people like hate me. I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Danielle Rose. I wonder who that is. How do you juggle family sessions in a short time frame and still get a couple of cocktail out? How do you chill out even though you're doing all that stuff, huh?
Family sessions in a short time and still get the couple to cocktail hour. Oh, like the family portraits at a wedding on a wedding day and still get them. I think that's what she means, right?
She's basically asking, how do you shoot that you shoot on that in that short time frame, but still get the couple to cocktail hour on time?
Oh,
so if you're shooting a volume and they still got to get to the meet and greet with the family and stuff, I'm guessing.
So that they're not doing a first look, and how do I just? Yeah, I mean they don't get the cocktail hour. If they don't do a first look, they're not getting the cocktail hour. That's it. Like I respect cocktail hour. What's more important to you?
Do you want me to do what I'm here to do, or do you want to go drink some stuff with people you've already known for your whole life?
No, but like I walk them through like really detailed the options.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, you can go to cocktail hour and drink and eat and hug people so that when you sit down at your reception, they'll leave you alone. If you don't, they're not going to leave you alone. They're going to keep, let me just run over and say congratulations. And everyone keeps doing it. And so you're trying to eat, but you can't eat. And like I explained that to them. So if that's what you want, this is what you're going to get.
Do you ever get like a pro couple that have been through a few marriages themselves and they're like, we know how this is going to run. We know how to get this done.
I've had a couple of those, but when I do those, they care even less.
I'm sure they're like, we've been through this.
Yeah. Like they're not even that big on even the portrait time. They're like, yeah, I mean, like, I mean, they're literally, because they tried to like downplay everything.
They're like, this will be over in a year anyway. Right. So can we just,
oh my God.
They're just like, let's just go do this in a courtroom or whatever.
Right. And people call me with that. And I always convince them to not do that. Because I'm always like, it's the same price. Well, maybe not the same price, but like it can be equally as inexpensive and intimate to just hire an officiant.
Yeah.
You can get married anywhere.
Right.
You don't have to get married in the courtroom with a judge and that. Like it could still be just the two of you on the officiant and the photographer. It could be somewhere pretty.
But haven't you ever had the magical aroma of a New York City courtroom? I don't think you've ever been there. Like
I've not.
It's quite like
magical.
It has this DUI feel to it. It's just got this like, that's somebody's uncle that's having a bad day, but he's going to be our witness. Like it's just, it's one of those, I spent many a time, never mind. Devin's asking, how do you decide when it's time to bring on an associate photographer, and do you train them to shoot in your style? That's interesting.
Yes, absolutely. So I feel like I bring on people to my team, and I would recommend people to bring people on when they feel like they are completely booked and they want to make sure that they have someone that they can trust to refer them to. So that's definitely when. And then the style for me is always with posing, which is one of the ways I even came up with my 48 and 8 whole flow, because I can make a lot of things happen on the back end of things, but like if you're not posing the way that I pose and they're not giving the same type of energy, like if I'm not like an editorial, like most of my brides aren't all silent and quiet and just like looking off, like they are like
shade,
laughing.
Huh? No shade.
Hey, look, no shade for real. It's just not they're not my people. My people are like really romantic, and then they're happy, smiley. Yeah, they really like each other, having fun doing things. So I mean, if somebody poses them like completely different, it's not gonna look like my work, no matter how much I edit it. So I always have, like, I do train them to do the posing that I do.
The trade shows, you see all the stuff, and like the thing that always drives you crazy, and someone's gonna hate me for this, but when they have the bride solo and they make her Alice in Wonderland with like these kind of poses and stuff, and it's like, who the hell has ever done this? Like, is your wrist broken? Are you looking at what is going on? Are you having a fit? Like, I don't understand what this is. No one is naturally ever. So my big thing with photography is it's documentary. I want to see honesty. I'm not looking, I want to see what you're trying to get across. This is someone playing dress up and isn't a bride to me.
Wow. And I'm somewhere in between that, because I'm like, I try to be documentary when it works, but like if you're gonna just go try to zip her dress up over here, I'm like, hey, stop. We're gonna put this over here where the light is, and I'm gonna tell her how to stand to make sure that she looks flattering, and then go.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Genuine, especially tiny moments of the things is what they're hoping that they won't even see those things. They want to see them after. I get that. This is interesting. Will's asking, do your clients pay your way to destinations outside of the country? Is it about confidence in the work?
Yes, absolutely. So they do pay for my travel for sure. And yes, they trust me. So that's one way that I get them to even book my associate team at any point in time. And that's the way that I get them to take me out of the country, because they know that I'm going to take care of it. Whatever it is, I'm going to make sure that it happens and they feel like safe.
Taylor's asking, what do you put in your contracts for weddings starting on time?
Nothing.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I don't even know. Nothing.
So you're saying if it runs over or it's late to start,
you just leave, or it's, I don't know.
I feel like you're there for the day. They got you, right?
So not the whole day, but I do have in my contract up to 8 hours, up to 12 hours, because I'm not just going to be sitting there for like 3 extra hours when everybody's drunk. There's no exit. There's whatever. Like, I'm not going to be like, well, they have 12 hours, so I'm just here. Like, no, I'm going to talk to them about it. And I'm going to say, hey, I think we got everything, anything else you need. And I'm out.
Half the time, they don't even know what they want or what they need.
True.
That's
especially at that point.
Right. Or that's when you get a little bit of the.
But what are they going to do with those photos? Nobody prints those out. They don't print them out.
They don't print them out, but they're going to want to see what else happened that day, especially kids. When the kids are old enough to be like, my dad was that ridiculous.
Okay, I'll give you that. But like I said, but after like a certain time, it's going to be the same people doing the same things on repeat. You can't tell what different line dance they're doing after so many of them.
Well, what about trends? Do you ever pay attention to what is going on as far as what other people are offering out there that they're going to ask you for, or styles, or even if there's some dumb dance that's going around that's always at every wedding all the time that you got to be there for? Not anything. I mean, look,
if there's something that they say, they're like, hey, this is going to happen and this is important, then I'll be there for that thing. Do
you go around and make sure some wedding photographers get really personal. Like, I need to know the weird uncle. I got to know the aunt that's going to be psychotic. You're just
there is something on my questionnaire that's like, are there any awkward situations, things like that, like people that we need to keep away from each other? That's all I care about. No, if somebody's acting crazy, I'll just keep taking pictures of them or whatever. As long as nobody's rude or disrespectful to me, I don't care what's going on.
There's no dumb questions, Will. They're asking, how do you word in your advertising that you're willing to go on a destination project? So you're trying to fish for that kind of work, basically, is what you're asking for?
You don't have to fish. You can just say, I'm a destination wedding photographer.
If you show work that has been around the world, guess what? You haven't lived all around the world, right? Yeah. You're a destination. And I think anyone that is going to a resort to get married is expecting to have to fly in the rest of the services that they're trying to get acquired, right?
I mean, that, and then destination can be Houston. If you live somewhere else.
It only means a beach. What are you talking about? Right. It only means a beach in the Caribbean. What are you talking about?
Be.
Is this, Sigma, is this what you bring me? No. This is what but honestly, that's what people think with destination. They always think paradise, but sometimes just a spot that they want to go to. It could be at the top of a mountain. I mean, exactly. It doesn't matter.
Nope. And that's why my workshops are destination. They're New Orleans, Chicago, Atlanta right now.
Wait till we start doing virtual weddings. Wait till you're gonna have to be an avatar online with a cartoon camera going like this.
Absolutely,
taking pictures of other avatars. You're gonna be wearing goggles the whole time, going like this.
Wow,
it's gonna happen. There's people that got married in World of Warcraft.
What?
Yeah,
that's okay. There's someone for them.
Listen, good for them. If you want to ruin your life, ruin your life. I'm just saying. Lauren's asking, do you more so follow wedding trends? I just asked that. Oh, yeah. No. Or do you stick to your own style?
I stick to my own style always.
I feel like the problem I find with trends is that the wedding could be timeless or it could be dated, right? And let the style be the dated part. I feel like whatever they're wearing, their hair, whatever.
Right.
But the trends, our side of things, dude, I've had enough shutter drag and smoke bombs and prisms in front of your lens. I've got it. Everyone's got RGB. I get it. I love you all. But man, you can't beat pure, genuine classic photography. When it's honest, when it's clean, when it's done at elegance, that's what's up.
Right.
You can't ever beat that. Is there something you want to shoot besides weddings? Are you trying to do like a personal project of any type? Is there something you want to chase? Is there like a genre of humans you want to document, portraits? Or you're just like, I'm here to make money. Let's go. Oh yeah? You're not even hiding. You're like,
no.
Pay me.
But and see, the crazy thing is, and I try to tell everybody that I mentioned this, that it doesn't matter what you put out, you're gonna get, like you talked about earlier, right? So like all you're gonna find on my Instagram is weddings, maybe a little bit of my own kids, something maybe random every once in a while. But more often than not, it's always weddings. But in the last 72 hours, I have shot a college graduation session, a breastfeeding session, another like a high school graduation, family, and a house.
A house. Mm-hmm. Just the house.
Just the house. Because they're turning it into like an intimate wedding venue. But it's, literally, I was just taking pictures of rooms like a real estate. I didn't put any of that anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it from that approach of just like I'm building a business and you're not personal with the work, like it's easy to just chase it as building your brand, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but people also are stupid. Like humans are stupid. They think, oh, well, they got a camera. Like I'll be fully like doing a graduation session. They'll be like, oh, you know, my baby, my friend's having a baby. She needs a maternity. They don't think to ask, do you shoot this? They're just like, oh, I'm gonna hit you up for this. They just, unless you tell them no, they just assume that you can do it if you have a camera.
So this is where my uncle can shoot it comes from. It's not that I'm going to say, listen, I'm usually the meanest person. I'm going to say they're naive, you know?
Oh, right. I guess that wasn't a nice way to put it, but I meant it.
There are people in this chat. She didn't mean you guys, maybe you and that guy behind you. And that's about it. All right. But by the way, 5:00, she's here in person. You're welcome to fill these chairs. She's going to be doing 48 poses in 8 minutes. That's a real thing. 42 West 18th Street. These chairs, they're calling you guys. And just so you know, the only way we support this event space is by you guys filling the spots up. So you got to come hang out, right? If you can't, join us virtually on the Adorama Events channel, okay? Can you talk more about your questionnaire? So I guess you send your questionnaire to your couples?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
So
I mean, with my questionnaire, it's pretty much like what's going to happen throughout the day. I mean, of course, you need like the timeline. I personally don't even do weddings. I don't have planners anymore because you become the planner. But my associate team does. So I have a mixture of questions for that. And then it's just a matter of, no, really, just what's happening on the day. What are you wearing? Oh, tags for the Instagram. I make them give me the tag so that I can just go in and copy it when I go to put it on social media, because I do like same day slideshows.
Right.
And so I just need to have it and just throw it on there. But I mean, it's not really anything crazy.
Yeah, I think it's just developing efficiency is in the end. That's with anything you guys shoot, period. Like however you shoot commercial in a studio, even though you're in one place all the time, your files are labeled a certain way, your folders go a certain way, your Digitech knows how to work. Like you just have, call sheets, call sheets. Teresa back there is all about the call sheets. Let me tell you. They're asking, what are some of your tricks? Wait, what just happened here? This is out of sync. What are some of your tricks when the location isn't ideal, and how do you keep calm? How do you keep the couple calm? Why can't I read today?
And excited?
How do you keep the couple calm and excited? Okay.
So
keep the energy up, but keep them calm.
My main trick for weddings when the location isn't ideal is veil shots. So I always, and under the veil shots, because nobody knows where you're at. I have no clue. So like I've always told people to bring that, because if nothing else, if you don't want to post anything because it's like a barn and you're not into that or whatever it is, you can just throw the veil over them, take those shots, and that can be what you put on social media.
So let me ask you this. Where do you feel AI is creeping in for your industry and where you're at? I mean, I think retouching it's huge. AI retouching is huge, but do you feel there will ever be a time where they're just like, you know what, we don't need the solo shots. We'll do those in AI. Just get us the event shots.
I truly hope not.
It could happen.
It could. And we just going to be here for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's such a large industry. People don't want to create things that cut out a whole bunch of different companies and things like that. Like, I mean, all the companies that were doing humans doing editing for people just kind of moved over to AI or just shut down.
Yeah.
And that was really it.
Retouching like overnight, just one after another.
Literally, I was never one to like retouch things, or I'll fix it later, take it out later. I was never that person. And now between Imagine and Evoto, I'm like, I can do anything.
Dude, Capture One has it built in now. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I
like,
heard.
whoa, like it's happening so fast that people I knew that were relying on retouching that did other like computer graphics stuff. They're like, I got to find like a third job now. Like, I don't know what to do.
Not a third
There's
job.
No, the world's expensive, man. With destination, what Joel's asking with destination weddings, how do you manage the gear itself, basically? So are you shipping gear? Do you minimize your kits? Like, what do we do? You renting when you get there?
No. So, I mean, I am very, 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 very minimal. Very minimal, especially when a destination. So I just bring just my camera and lenses and like one light and my on-camera flash. But at weddings in the States and things, I have like maybe 2 to 3 up. But I've found that there's not really a need for it all the time, especially when we're talking about obviously on a beach, because that's the only destination that there is.
Also, when they're going to a destination, they're usually going to like some place that's already beautiful. And so you're shooting at a time when the light is, and a lot of these resort spots are like engineered to have golden hour come in at this window and rake across the floor and be amazing. And it's like, you just got to pay attention to that kind of stuff. It's the old buildings that are always the ones that I find something. So for example, I have a Daylight studio here in New York. It was amazing for a million years. Guess what? They built a building right across the street. It blocks all my light now. So like the older the building is, the more it falls to not being ideal. But
Gotcha.
I feel like when they're booking a wedding, they're looking at this amazing spot. You want to feature this amazing spot. And so I get the minimal thing. I'm a psychopath. I bring like 60,000 lights.
You bring all the things.
When I know it's possible with the tool, I'm a tool guy. I like tool. I like look at this. Look.
I
We're
see.
surrounded
I
by,
see.
look at this.
Yeah, and I'm not. I'm not. I'm like, oh, these are cool.
I'm a gear hound, man. I just like, it would be cool if I did this, but I'm gonna need 47 adapters, a roll of duct tape, and a toothbrush, and I'll figure it out. You know?
Wow.
She's seen me do it. I'll figure it out. But when you can shoot minimal, you can shoot with more gear. Like if you can shoot with less, you can always shoot with more. Does that make sense? So if you're gonna dial in yourself to that kind of stuff, and also you're showing them that style. You're not showing them like Joe McNally with 48 different strobes lighting out every little thing.
No.
You're showing a style that's minimal, that's using the light that's available, maybe some fill. You're not stylizing the light.
No.
You're focusing on
them. And I mean, there are resort photographers that literally just go with their flash right in their face that are making a lot of money.
The kids love that. I get some kids in here that are showing me like straight on hardcore flash. I'm like, I get that you feel this is like candid and so of the moment, but you could do like 3 simple things to make this at least a little flattering.
Right.
Like what are we
Literally.
doing? But I think they've been fed such polished images for so long. They're yearning for something that's honest, right? Look at American Apparel. They made a whole brand off of that on-camera flash look because it felt like, that's my friend. That's not a model with 14 stylists behind them. That's my friend.
I get that.
Yeah,
But I
so-
mean, but that's half of the allure of like, oh, I want to hire, this person and I want to get married at this place because they see that. So, I mean,
Yeah,
it
So-
depends.
When you're, has anything ever snowballed from a wedding? If you're like, have you ever seen like the bridesmaids and they're like keeping your number on file? Like, oh, you shot my friend's wedding like 5 years ago and like whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the first destination wedding that I did, I had done her best friend's wedding, like down the street around the corner.
That's good. And that's usually how it goes. They don't even want to think about shopping around. They want to go with an experience they already had. So like I said, in commercial land, the job isn't the success. It's an audition to get the next job. You're always being watched while you're working. Whatever you do on that set, whatever you do at that destination, whatever, that's what they're going to take with them, not just the shots.
Yep.
I mean,
That's why I do the same day slideshow. It blows people's minds.
when you say it's a digital slideshow, or you give them like print, like what do you do?
So like I literally during the during the reception when we were eating,
Yeah.
I'll sit down and I pick out like 10 to 15 images and I just edit them really quickly. And then I literally just put them on like in photos in my MacBook and just say press slideshow. There's no music. There's no fancy transitions or anything. It just
They're getting
shows
instant
them.
results right away.
And I recently just bought a mobile projector that I can plug up to it. It has really
Bang.
good resolution and it's amazing.
Yeah, when people seeing in real time what's happening, the dopamine hit that explodes in the brain. That's what you want. There's one guy I used to work for. Has this been on the screen the whole time, guys? Where were you on that one, guys? Jeez. There's a guy I worked for years ago when I shot events, and he would print instant prints from like a Fuji printer or whatever, and give them like a flip book.
Oh, that's cute.
And just something tactile was enough for them to remember him all the time. And it would just snowball. One person remembers that, then 3 people remember that, then 10 people. And you just become that person that they just go to, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Teresa Fetto, what is this? Do you collect a deposit for weddings? If so, what is the timing?
Absolutely. I mean, in order to book, it's either 1,000, 1,500, or 3,000, depending on which one of the packages they choose. And in order to save their date, they're gonna pay it, right?
Do you name your packages something cute?
They've been the same my whole career.
Yeah, they're like diamonds. They're like no.
Literally. It's like
I always get a kick out of what you guys name.
platinum keepsake and vintage gemstone.
Vintage gemstone.
Yeah,
Damn.
never changed it.
Do you just put like buzzwords in a hat and put 2 together, like vintage gemstone?
I can't even tell you.
You can't.
Where I came up with that at this point, but I was just,
You want the velvet diamond package?
yeah.
It sounds like a hotel suite that you pay for by the hour. You know, you're like, did you want the velvet diamond? No. Did you want the pink tiger? No. Is that not the package for you guys? It's always funny. Well, I think you guys have so much competition. I think you're always edging marketing in every little bit you can. So it's always funny to me to hear these little tiny like, oh, I have a Chardonnay package. Oh, well, I have a velvet rhino or whatever. Like it's like what?
And my associate team is like peonies and roses. It's just flowers and orchids. Those are the 3.
But if they identify with it, I get it. You know what I mean? Like I get it. Aside from the slideshow, any other little extras do you do for couples? Asking Steve. I hope you're doing well, Steve. Hope you're well.
No, actually, that's my main thing that I do at weddings. I mean, it really blows their mind because I mean, not only as their family is like, oh my god, this is so beautiful, but like I can literally airdrop them the photos right then, and they want to go posting and tagging and collaborating because collaborating is awesome on Instagram.
Do you ever get that relative that thinks they're a photographer and you're elbowing, jockeying for position? You'd be like, listen, Uncle Ed, God, I know you bought that flash, but.
Yeah, I don't have that so much, and I think that's just because of the energy that I bring. Like people just naturally don't really want to.
You boss it up.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with me. You don't. Like and like when I'm focused on a wedding, like you really like you'll get it because I'm like, all right, let's go. All right, come on. Like I'm being nice about it, but I'm like, this is what we're gonna do. And this is how we're gonna. Yeah.
When it shows that you are really a professional, there is no or you're doing
exactly.
You know
exactly. That's half of the battle of every wedding. Like you go, well, can you maybe like can you just turn this way? Like what? Do you know what you're doing? Like, you can say the same things, but if your tone isn't right, people will run right over you.
Have you ever tried out a new associate photographer or a second shoot or whatever, and it just hasn't worked? And if that has happened, what do you do without those shots?
So I typically start everyone as a 3rd shooter first, and that's what I recommend for anyone who's ever even remotely thinking about getting into weddings at any point in time, is to just be a 3rd shooter first, because like nothing you get is needed, but always welcome if it's extra. But like if you're in this environment and you're freaking out and you're not even responsible for anything, it is not for you.
Okay.
Because like you have to leave that wedding like, this was awesome, even though this went wrong. I saw how this happened and I can fix this. And if that's not your energy, then go do something else.
Right. I think people put some crazy pressure on them when it's with what we do, because it's like if you missed it, you missed it kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And they freak out.
Yeah.
But you just got to breathe. Like no one knows what you missed. They just know what you got.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Get to the next shot. Always get to the next shot. Whatever went wrong, it already happened. There's nothing you can do by freaking out.
And nothing. And you can't freak out on my team.
No, I'm live all the time. I can't freak out every time something goes wrong. I just can't. So John's asking, do you do a mix of pictures that are color versus black and white?
I do. I don't ever post any on Instagram.
You mean black and white?
Black and white, yeah. For some reason, I just don't post it. But I do a mixture of black and white and color, especially with like emotion and things like that. There's a lot in the galleries, but I don't know. I feel like it's just going to mess up my feed, and I'm really, really dramatic about it.
Man, my feed's a junk drawer at best. On a good day, it's like a junk drawer. No, but you really are. I think everything you put out there publicly is like a banner and a billboard for your business. It's not personal, right? So you got to really think about get to the next shot. Just fix my life. Thanks, Seth. You're welcome, Danielle. That's all I do is fix your life, kid. Hope you're well.
I got Hustler Gang in the building. Okay, Raphael.
Well, since this is sponsored by Sigma, what are your go-to lenses for wedding day? Because the 7200 didn't work out the first wedding, right? So where are we at? What are we doing? 105 portraits. What are we doing?
So in January, I actually switched from Canon to Sony, and so with doing that, I have all new favorite ones. But my go-to right now is a 28 to 105, and it's a 2.8. Like I don't even have to take that thing off.
Yeah, that's a good all-around lens.
I love it.
Yep.
And then my whole career, I've never been a nifty 50 girl, but I put that 1.2 on.
1.2 will change your point. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man. I was like, whew, okay. I don't think I can talk about this badly anymore.
Yeah.
I love it. So, like, right now, I'm with a 50 and the 28 to 105, unless I need something wider.
And you're strictly stills, no video from you?
For
personally.
me, yeah, no, just
But
stills.
you bring people that...
I bring people
right,
to
right.
do the video.
So what do you look for in someone that's doing video for you? What is some of the signs of, like, that's the person that should be on my team?
So I want to make sure that you're in the right place and communicating effectively. That's almost more important than actually what you're shooting.
Okay.
I don't like to be in videos, so I need you to not be over there. And we're shooting
Keep
each
the
other.
180-degree rule?
Yes.
Yep, okay.
Like, you know, there's a couple different things. And just, I will look at their videos and make sure that the audio is great, because that's most important.
Yeah, people forget that a video that's shoddy video but good audio is just, you can still watch it. But if it's great video and jank audio, you can't, it's a bad video.
Nope.
People
It's
forget
terrible.
about audio way too easily. It's crazy to me.
I won't, because I mean, it will ruin everything.
Do you make sure they match your color tones? Like, is the look the same?
So, not really.
Okay.
I'm not even overly that concerned about it looking like because my photography is very bright. So I'm not expecting for the video to be equally as bright.
Okay.
So no, that's not something that's that important.
The when it comes down to like redundancies, because you travel light, if something goes down, if something gets lost or whatever, broken, like do you carry extras? Do you carry repetitive gear, like extra of the same, or
I don't let my think tank go out of my sight, period.
Same.
So I mean, anything that can be checked, I'm not that worried about it.
Yeah, well, on wedding day, anything can happen. I mean, a drunk
That's
uncle
true.
can throw some wine at you or whatever, and something gets wrecked. Like you don't carry. See, traveling light, I feel like my biggest concern would be the redundancies. Like I always make sure I have backups of things, even if they're like a lower model or whatever. I don't care. Like
I only have 2 cameras, so if something happened to both of them, then I mean
you don't go to like your 15th photography, like give me a kid,
Yeah.
like snatch off their neck, throw them to the side.
I haven't had to do that, but I mean, if I got to shoot something, I'm gonna shoot. I look back at like 2015, and I literally that whole year shot full blown weddings with just my 60.
Yeah.
And I look back like, girl, do you know what could have happened? Because like the main reason I even switched from Canon to Sony is because I had 2 R6s. It just locked up on me as the bride was coming down the aisle. Like thank God I had both. So I just grabbed the other one on my Spider and was like, okay, it's fine. But like, I was like, that could have been terrible.
Yep. I don't care what brand, how much you spent. Things can go wrong with gear. It's just inanimate objects. That's all it is.
Yep.
You know, there's things going wrong with this coffee right now. It's been leaking on me the whole time.
Oh.
So it's like about 30% of my episodes I have coffee on this, whatever. It is what it is. I'm either covered in fake blood or coffee. This is my life. Enjoy it. So what should we expect tonight? 5 p.m. I'm making you work. I'm making you get in here. I'm pointing all these cameras at you. I got all these eyeballs pointing at you.
I love it though.
What is 48 poses in 8 minutes? What is that?
What is it?
It's flow posing?
It's not even so much a flow.
Okay.
It's just that you have to know exactly what you're gonna do next. I mean,
Just
it's
yelling
not
at people for 8 straight minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said right foot green.
Yeah.
Right foot green. I said right foot green. She puts a twister mat down and we spin it for like 8 solid minutes. It's amazing.
No. It's a combination of a couple different poses and then variations, like small little variations. So if they're already in one pose, then people are like, oh, I don't know what to do. But I have like an acronym where they can change. They can do different things like with their heads and just look different ways, and it makes very different photos.
Okay.
And then if you are shooting at different angles, different lengths, and it can easily make a lot of photos in a little bit of time.
And this is primarily for couples.
Yes, it is for couples.
Okay. So, but it's not just wedding.
No, so you can absolutely, and in order to really get it done in the 8 minutes, you need to have an engagement session.
Okay.
So you can absolutely use this on everything I'm going to teach on an engagement session.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that. Let's say, and I know you're not going to go into lighting tonight because like we can't get into everything in an hour. But
Nope.
what I will say is, if you've seen any live demos that we do here, you know that moving the model is the same as moving the light. Like if you're not sure if you should change something, change the model first, because you can always get them back to where it was.
Right.
If you're trying to move a bunch of gear around, you're eating up time while they're bored. You're losing the energy. You're spiraling. All right. Get to the next shot. That's my new thing. I think that's my new thing. Get to the next shot. That's my new thing. You heard it here first, folks. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with my life in 2025.
But you're changing lives.
I am changing lives.
Right now?
I changed Danielle. Well, she changed my life by showing me a bunch of adapters for lenses. Like, damn, they actually work really well. What is this?
Yeah.
They didn't always do that. Adapters were a nightmare for like, I'm going to say like 7 straight years in the beginning of mirrorless. Adapters were just like.
Everyone was very concerned. Like when I was using Canon and using the adapters for all the Sigma stuff, everyone's like, are you sure? I'm like, I promise I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't good.
When it was Canon's adapter, yes, it was awesome. But the third party ones, you were like, huh, this better not be a paid job. You know, like it was one of those things.
No.
But I'm definitely getting where we're at now. Everything's changing so quick. When I think back to where we were 2018, 2019 to what's in our hands right now. I mean, when you heard the term 8K video, you were like, that's unicorns.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Absolutely.
And now I'm like screaming because I can't get one of my screens in 4K right now. Like I'm like this is how spoiled we are. It sounds like Joy. Oh yeah.
I feel that way about editing. Like people complain about like getting things back from either Imagine Aftershoot, whatever they're using. And I'm like, yo, I didn't have anyone tell me do any of this. Like you have a baseline that it got you pretty close. You're complaining because you got to do a little tweaks. Like I don't want to hear it.
Don't you ever feel like you always need a screen door in front of you because just yelling at people like somebody get off my lawn? Like you always feel like I need a screen door because of what you guys are telling me. Like, oh, this thing. Oh, I'm like, are you out of your mind? Like what we're able to do. We're streaming in 4K to public. Like what do you? Oh, these kids.
Yeah,
I can't.
mean, listen, but that's why people join like even my education community because they know I'm gonna tell it to you straight.
Well, where can they find that?
That's on Facebook, M Harris Hustlers.
This is her Instagram over here. If you guys want to connect, go ahead and hit the follows and all the stuff. She loves DMs every 3 hours. Make sure you constantly DM this woman all the questions all the time. But she does have a lot of education platforms, so go check out all that kind of stuff. So you're with you've been associated with Sigma for how long now?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah, it was 2020.
Damn, that's a solid relationship right there.
Yeah, I love them.
Damn.
And people are like, "Are you gonna go?" I'm not going anywhere. Do you know? I love being able to tell anybody. It doesn't matter what camera they have, what kind. I can be like, "Oh, we got something for that."
Yeah. Is there a lens you're hoping they make?
Something zoom with like a f2. Like, please give me just.
Yeah, we're in a weird era where we're making these zooming prime lenses now. It seems like the physics have changed because of the way we're doing things now, or they found ways to make things not competent. Whatever. I can go on for this. This can get very nerdy very quick. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, we're in this world where it doesn't have to be just 7200. It can be a bunch of weird numbers and it can be cool. I think we're kind of finally breaking out of these conventionals. And I think it's the most exciting time in our industry with like the equipment and what you can do with the equipment and what makes your life easier, especially on a wedding day where every minute counts.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Yeah, and photojournalism. But where do you feel you need the technology to go next? Is there something that you're dealing with on a wedding day that you wish was faster? You want to shoot wirelessly to a server. Is there something that like, is there some sort of thing that isn't there yet that you're hoping changes? I feel like we're shooting a frame IO now with half the cameras and all this stuff.
I mean, right. And then I just saw something the other day that literally, I think it was Sam Hurd. He like put his memory card in this thing and then it just like uploaded it to a server and then like started culling and editing. And I was like, what is happening? So like I was about to say that, but I'm like, I think that's already in the works. I got to look into it because I was like, you could do what?
Yeah, I think we're going to see more. We're going to see more and more wireless connectivity from our cameras as we go forward. Because if we're imagine years from now, you have AI editing built into the camera. You shot it.
Man.
At the time of shot, it's already being beamed to where it's got to go done.
Insane.
What do you do then, kids? What do you complain about?
Someone will complain. Right. Someone will complain about it.
Yeah, we just need consistent infrastructure. So if you're going to a destination wedding, there's no guarantees there's some good Wi-Fi.
Right.
Right. So is there a situation where you've gone to a destination that's almost two destination and you're like, we're in a jungle right now and there's no one with a router. How do I get this done?
Yeah, actually, I shot a wedding in Mexico at a mango tree farm.
That sounds awesome.
It was really dope. And they had these puppies. I had all the groomsmen hold puppies. It was really cute. But there was no Wi-Fi and there was no service.
You can't lose. Oh, a wedding with puppies, like you're going to be the best photographer on earth.
Yeah.
That's it. It's over. Mangoes. They must have been like huge if it was a mango farm.
It wasn't. They weren't really that big, but it was. They were nice trees.
You didn't take them off and just start eating them?
No.
Come on.
Seized
all day.
I mean, I'm sure that's great. With my luck, I will bite into something that I have no business. This isn't even the mango. I've messed it all up.
Was it giving you some technical issues? Like, was there a problem with it getting some connection to something, or?
No, I just had to wait until I got back to back things up, and I like to back things up as soon as I can. I'm very simple with it, but I want it to be backed up.
And you had like 10,000 extra batteries, I'm sure, because there's nowhere to plug in, right?
Yeah. I mean, and especially with Sony, man, them batteries, I run through them compared to Canon.
Mirrorless, man. Well, it's not the brand. You went from a 6D, which was a mirrored SLR, to something that's running a full-time sensor with a screen and a full-size screen inside there. There's like 9 million dots. So if it's constantly processing images like that, yeah, it's just going to fly through battery.
Okay, well now I'll stop blaming them. Thank you for that. I'm not very techie. That's one thing I'm not.
It's totally fine. I just think that was one of the things for DSLR shooters. They were kind of like, oh, my batteries last forever. I'm like, yeah, but you're giving up all this. Like your focus points go to the edge of the frame now. Like that alone is amazing for me.
It is.
And you're going to be like, but I get to shoot for 2 more hours. Like, good for you. I'll carry another battery this big and I'm in the game again.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So don't worry about that. Michelle, this has been a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. So takeaways, people are stupid, right?
Yeah.
And but make sure you check out her social here. If you're looking at any of her education platforms, go to our links on her bio. But 5 o'clock today, Eastern, if you're in New York, 42 West 18th Street, these seats are for you if you're not here. Adorama Events is the channel that we beam out of here live. If you've been missing that, you can go check that out. It'll be streamed. You can jump back in this chat, say what's up, bark a bunch of questions, be like, what happens if they only have one leg or something like that, you know? Do it.
Please.
Do it. One last question. Tao's asking, what do you use for culling as far as software goes?
For culling, I use Imagine for culling and editing.
All right, cool. Guys, I want to thank you guys so much. I want to thank Sigma for sponsoring this and sponsoring her event later today. I want to thank Gotham for the coffee, Tenba for hooking up our guests with a free bag, because we appreciate you guys. It's a nice bag. And don't forget, I got Ryan Airy next week, who is I'm a personal fan of. Like, he built this channel to like 2 million subscribers in like a year, and he does the most best nerd content ever. Make sure you check out next week, 11 o'clock. Ab Cisse will be making his triumphant return to the event space next month. I'm sure Dan will be in here. I'm live on Mondays. There's always something. Subscribe here, subscribe at Adorama Events, hit the bell, do all the things. Michelle, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Later.